Look, we are so live that Mama Sheryl just got here, and we'll be right back after this. We are really live. Welcome, everybody. We are really live, and this is like August 9th. We don't usually give the date, but I am today because we have tricked you guys many times to think we were live, and we haven't been. So welcome, Sheryl.
Welcome, and hey, and I'm working from one screen right now, so backgrounds do not qualify, okay?
It's okay. That's the cool thing is we show people that we show up. If we can do this, they can do this, right?
Well, let's say we just literally got the computer booted back up from side and it was going to reboot. So is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is as live as it gets. I was speaking to her and I'm talking. Next thing I realize is like, Sheryl hasn't blinked. Sheryl hasn't moved. I think she's not here. And then next thing she left and she messages me and she goes, "You're gone." And I'm like, I left, I came back. I was like, no, you're the one who's gone. So this is really real. We're really here on August 9th. And if you're watching the replay, welcome back. This is kind of our new season, the fall season, getting back into the groove of things. I've been gone traveling the last couple of months, and Cheryl's been traveling and being in the mountains and things like that too. So we're just that's why our topic is reeling back into it.
I mean, you know, we have been nowhere near lately. It's been crazy. And, you know, so it is what it is. If you saw my desk, you'd understand the word reeling back in.
Yeah, I've come back and I've just, nothing is, you know, we forget everything always changes. Not everything every day is the same. It may seem like it, but it's not. And I really came back to things just not being and having to depend on the calendar. And I'm discombobulated on the time zones and different things going on in my life and health and all this stuff. So it's just reeling in, you know, what's your new normal and what, you know,
Normal?
it's just
Normal.
or regular or whatever you want to call it.
Maybe you should just say, what is normal anymore?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, yeah, and I think we could say that since 2020, right? For the last 3 years.
It's definitely been a year.
Hey, at least I got to meet you in the pandemic. I did.
Yeah, you know, it's just some days I can deal with crazy, some days I can't. It's harder to deal with it when you've been out of town and coming back home.
Yeah.
But it's catch. I hate catch up. I hate getting behind. But we did. Here we are. We're catching up.
I think we do need the distraction, and the disrupt. I'm the. Is
Try
that
that
the word? Well, I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out if that's the word I want to use.
Not.
Let me try to alter. Speaking two languages and then trying to say something is something some days, and that's one of those days. But the disturbance of your normal regular programming per se is really good for you because it allows you to use you know, we all do things for memory, muscle memory, and so you're doing things out of the ordinary, and that's good. That's good. You need to use those muscles and stuff. So
I like those left alone. No, it's just the thing is you know, I feel so committed to people that I want everything done right, where, when, and you just can't always do that. So mine's more of a lack of commitment, feeling my commitments to people, like screens going down 5 minutes before you want to come in, and there's a 6-minute update going on. So anyway, it is what it is.
yeah, and I think that's the thing that we get so complacent or so dependent on things being, you know, fast or, you know, done And, we forget the days of AOL where you had to wait till that modem kicked in, and then you got kicked out. Goodbye. And then you got mail. And so, it's those things. And like, I was with my dad for over 4 weeks, and I'm glad to say that my dad's not one for change. And yet he went and got a riding lawnmower, and I had to teach him how to drive it. And then by the time I left, he knew how to ride it the right way. And I got him internet in the house, and he didn't want to use the Roku. He's like, 82 years old. He's like, I don't want to learn this, and I'm not going to use it. And, it took the 4 weeks being there for him to get so comfortable that I spoke to him yesterday. I hadn't been with him for 2 weeks now. And he comes on and he goes, I've watched like 40 movies and Spanish. And the thing is like, I could tell you when I was there before, and 2 years ago when I'd visit him, every day certain programs would be on. And I come back 2 years ago, he's frustrated about not watching the Roku channels, that he still was so programmed to watch these shows that he'd watch all the time, that he wouldn't even go a potty till the commercial. And yet he knew it was going to go on, right? Because he didn't change. Needless to say, I'm so excited to say that he's changed he goes, I watch the news. He goes, I only turn on regular news. Hi, Theodora. I love you. We love you. And so it's just nice to know. And Rex says that all the time. It's great to move and do things different, so that, you're not just always using that muscle memory. And the fact that he learned to do two different things while I was there and has changed, that allows me to know that he's not complacent, and he's able to change and do things different than to stay where he's been stuck for a few years.
Well, you got to remember, Lynn, the older you get, most people, the less they like change. It's not so much they can't do things. You've seen your dad can. It's just the having to do things. And then you have to tread lightly, because when you're the person showing the old person how to do it, if you don't tread lightly, you can intimidate them, and then they're not going to want to do anything.
Right. Well, the cool thing is that my dad has property that he rents out next to him, and he mows their lawn and his lawn. And if you know Florida, the last few years, at 8:00 in the morning, it's 90 degrees. And so for the fact that he finally realized, look, it's just too hot to be pushing a lawnmower, and he has the lawnmower, he realized the benefits of changing, the benefits, and I didn't push him or anything like that you said, but it was just that he realized the benefits, the same thing, the benefits of, he got tired of watching Spanish novelas, soap operas, but he liked watching movies in Spanish that he couldn't see before. So he's enjoying that. So he sees benefits, you got to sell dad the benefits, not the purpose or the meaning behind it. Like you said, it's the approach. It's definitely the approach and how you present things,
Well, with raising as many elder people as we did, I watched, people try to convince them without giving them the why. They gave them the what, but they didn't give them the why.
Yeah.
And just like a child, a child needs to know why. I watch people look at kids and tell them to do something. I don't think you need to explain everything to either one of them, but you've got to give them a little bit of knowledge behind it. You need to learn this. You need to learn this because there needs to be a because after it, because it gives it validity instead of being a command.
I agree. And I was explaining this to somebody the other day, and it's important to say, it's like, my mom had her rules, kids would be seen, not heard, and do as I told, not as I do. But she used to tell me that I couldn't take, she'd have her tea in this glass pitcher, and she'd always drink, hot tea in it. And she told me, don't you put hot water in this cup. And I'm like, well, you do it. Why can't I? Mm-hmm. But so I defied her because it was not explained to me. Hello, Darlene. Thanks for being here. So I one day said, she puts hot water in this glass tea, her tea in there. I'm going to do the same. Well, then I learned why she did it and how she did it and why. But because she would have explained to me, I would have done the same. So I put the hot water in the glass, and the glass cracked. And I'm like, but the difference is my mom would put a spoon in it, a metal spoon, and then the hot tea, the metal took away from breaking the glass. Had she had told me that, I wouldn't have had to go experiment and find out for myself.
Or
So
either if you'll take warm water, if you'll
yeah.
heat the glass before you put the tea in it.
Well, but at any rate,
But she needed the why.
Yeah,
I
I needed to know
what. That in for people looking at you like we were nuts when we said put a spoon in it. I knew that too, but that a lot of.
But she never told me not to put a spoon. She just said, "Don't put hot water in the glass."
Yeah, but that was just a tidbit. That's an extra tidbit for everybody. Most people didn't. They don't know that.
Right.
It's like to put a big spoon in a pot or on top, a spoon on top of the pot will keep it from boiling over.
Yeah.
Or on top of the liquid, and most people don't know that. Maybe we need to have a segment one day of all the itty bitty things that we think people might not know.
Yeah, that would be a good one too. But yes, let's reel this conversation back into what we were talking here. It's like we're getting back into just being able to do lives and be able to respond to people, because we love doing that when we're here, and not being able to do that, and we appreciate that. But again, like you said, just getting back to whatever schedule doesn't necessarily ever goes back to the regular schedule.
This one didn't.
I know. The backstory for us is sometimes we like to get on here a half an hour before, and we don't talk about the show. We don't talk about what we're going to say until we get on here, but we'll just talk about life, or we'll talk about things. And this time it didn't work out that way. We got on here 12 minutes before, and next thing you know is I was delayed, so I went and rebooted. I came back and I'm talking to her, and she's just like, I'm like, I don't think she's here. And she was gone. She got here when we got live. So
we're back.
We're back, and we just appreciate when we get comments, especially when we weren't on a live show, or that people missed our live show. But so yeah, it's just the simple things in life, and knowing that no matter what, life goes on, and you got to make those memories.
Good or bad, they need to be there.
Yeah, for sure. So what all has been going on the last couple months for you, Sheryl?
Well, we went to the mountains for a couple of days. That was for my birthday. Jerry taught class, and I stayed in the cabin 2 days by myself well, actually I worked, but it was different from being in the office. And then we took a couple of days over the weekend and went down to the coast. Jerry travels so much, it's hard for us to find windows to go anywhere on a vacation. And I don't even know if we called that a vacation. It was more of a getaway. I mean, we have to plan for a vacation. So because of his schedule, he's the same as me. He hates to disappoint his clients. So we have to plan way ahead. We just usually go somewhere when he's got a week he's not traveling.
Well, that's great. No, and let for the audience know, believe it or not, Sheryl and Jerry do love what they do. That's the thing. They love what they do, and they're so dedicated to the people that they help. And I'm just so grateful that I get blessed to do this show with you and spend this time with you, because you do this on your lunch break. I mean, sometimes the poor lady's trying to have a couple bites of a sandwich, because when she gets off of here, she's back to doing what she's doing. And but the dedication and the time you give to everybody is something I admire and love from both you and Jerry so much.
Well, thank you. That's why I'm probably such a slim and trim young lady. Is I eat all my meals sitting here. It seems like I eat a lot of them. But yeah, the thing about it is just I'm old enough now. I'm where I'm going to be. Okay. So whatever I can do to help anybody else get where they want to go that's what I want to do with my life now, because basically, I mean, I'm where I'm going to be. I hope I can do this for many, many years, but as far as like I used to, at the drop of a hat, going out on a whole new adventure or new business, probably not going to happen. I'll just stay here in the coaching and the manufacturing and the hiring, and we'll go on and on and on, and try to make it easy for other people.
Well, Sheryl, I thought of you yesterday when Scott Schilling said, because he had the privilege of working with Zig Ziglar as well. He talked about what a good man he is and how much he loved people and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, he's talking about Sheryl Isenhour, or to me,
That's why I chose that certification, is because it resonated with me. It's where some of the others are really stringent, and I don't mean stringent in that way, but they have their own narrow path. Zig had a huge path that he followed, and so that's where that one resonated with me. I checked out a lot of different certifications before I went to that one.
Well, that's why I'm saying you are definitely a byproduct. You're a product of the product so much that when he said that, to him is Zig Ziglar because that's who he knows firsthand. But firsthand to me is you, and you being as of him. It's so cool to me because to me, you are the Zig Ziglar.
Well, thank you.
That's the other thing I'm letting a lot of people know, that there are people that I really endorse, and I do a lot of podcasts with a lot of different people. But if you haven't figured out that these are people that I endorse and that I love, and then there's people that are asking me if they can podcast with me. And if you don't see them yet, maybe there's a reason, and I'll just leave it at that, but the people need to know that, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, and then there's the people that just, are in it for the dollar and not in it for the people. So,
well, you're a lot like I am. I will do anything for anybody, but it's hard for me to endorse someone that I don't believe in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because to me, that's an extension of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It means you are this person you're endorsing.
Right.
Now, if I think you're great, I am on top of the game. But, if you're not, I'm not going to show bad towards anybody. I just won't go there.
Right, exactly. And like I said, I think more than anything, it gets with being older, more mature, like Scott Schilling likes to say, mature, that, you don't need to ever say anything bad about anyone, because people need to learn their lessons, even if it's hard lessons from the wrong people, because when you're ready, you learn it from the right people.
I found my new generation.
You did?
Yes, I'm a queen gener. Queenager.
So
teenager, queenager.
Yeah, I like that. I've never heard that before. Where'd you get that?
Off the internet. Give me a break. I thought it resonated. I'm going to start marking myself as a queenager.
I love it. Well, when you said, I heard the juror in there, I was thinking
that
queen
was
to the Jenner, because I'm a Gen Xer.
That was the brain part. So
yeah. I love that, queenager. Yeah, I love. Brand new words are made every day, and if not, it's a Lynnism. So, but anyhow, as far as reeling it back before we leave here, what would you like to share as final words?
Just if you reach out, do the weird stuff, bring yourself back and back to your home roots, pick up, and then you can move on. You can move on at an extremely different pace. And we're not stuck in one spot all our life. I think that's where people think they're at. I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. But you're not stuck. You're only as stuck as your mind is. So reach out, do things for people, do things for yourself.
Yeah, I think people forget, if you want to grow, you can grow. But if you think you're stuck, you're stuck. So, I mean, you're always right. And I think that's why the saying too goes, the customer's always right. Because in their world, it's whatever they think is supposed to be right. That doesn't necessarily mean they're right, but they're right in their own mind or whatever that's worth.
The segue off that, if you think you're wrong, you're right.
I love that too. Mic drop. Oh, As always, Sheryl, it's a pleasure and an honor, and I love you so much. Thank you for being here.
Same here. Well, you have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. We'll be real next week, too, all the way around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.